Hello and welcome back. My name's Maria McMahon and I am a British certified therapist. I work with men and women to help them to heal from narcissistic abuse. So in this little series, I'm going to talk about gaslighting and give you some tips to combat gaslighting if you perceive that it's happening to you, okay? So gaslighting is an emotional abuse tactic used to manipulate you into questioning your own perceptions. Narcissists are adept at making you doubt your own reality, and they're so convincing, you start really wondering if you're going out of your mind. And they're incredibly tenacious in their application of this tactic, and they can keep this up endlessly for years if need be. They won't give up and they won't give in. I do want to mention here that gaslighting can have serious emotional consequences. It can lead to depression, anxiety, insomnia, and all sorts of psychological trauma, not to mention that it can annihilate your self-worth. So don't underestimate the damage it can do. So I'm going to give you 5 practical tips to start using right now if you're worried about gaslighting when you realize that it's been happening to you. So by the end of this video, you should be in no doubt whether it is or isn't. So stick with me to the bitter end. So tip number 1 is to write everything down. Use your phone or a desktop calendar and get a notes app on your phone so you can track what's been said or done. Or do number 2 if that's not possible. Or even get on your phone, I always find it's quicker to do a recording. So just record your own voice with a quick summary of what's happened, because that's a lot quicker than, well, in my case anyway, it is. But I'm a bit of a relic when it comes to texting on little phones, okay? So do whatever's going to work for you, but you keep track of what's happened. Tip number 2 is about emails. If you're worried about the narcissistic X, the necks we call them, spying on your phone, create a secret email and send yourself all the notes and the info from your normal email and then delete it from your sent email. This way you have access to information that they can't ever see, okay? Number 3 is just take photographs of things, of anything that might come up for question. So let's say you go back to the traditional gaslighting where things kept going missing. If you know you've put something in a certain place, take a quick picture of it, because most pictures now you'll get date and time stamp, so you'll know exactly when it was left there. That's something that actually one of my clients did, because some of her things just kept going missing. She lost a valuable watch. She lost some other really important personal items, and she knew she'd left them in, place X. But when it came to talking about it and asking the ex if he'd seen it, he just complete denied it, absolutely no clue. And she couldn't prove it, but she knew in her heart that he'd taken it because she knew that she'd left it there. But after a while, she started doubting herself. Well, maybe I did lose it. Maybe, and this is what happens. So if you take a photo, you have proof positive for yourself that you in fact did leave something where you said you left it, okay? So a lot of these tips I'm giving you, they are for your eyes only. They are for you to know what's going on and not to use as proof or confrontational proof against, or with the narcissist, okay? Now, another thing that you can do, and I'll just put a quick caveat in here about the legality of recording certain conversations without the person's permission. It's illegal in a lot of parts of the world. But again, the reason you're recording conversations, which is what this tip is about, is so that you know yourself what's been said, so that the narcissist can't then turn around and say, oh, well, I didn't say that. Because that's exactly what they'll do. Even in the case when you have proof that they did say such and such, they'll still deny it. What they'll do is, oh, well, that's not what I meant. Or, well, you just took it the wrong way. Or, I didn't mean it that way. They'll come out with all this kind of twisty nonsense to continue confusing you and gaslighting you. So the reason to record the conversations are for your own use only, so that you can affirm to yourself, well, I know what was said and I know what the intention behind it was, That's why you do it. We're talking, all these tips are about you protecting yourself against gaslighting, okay? Tip number 5 is to ground yourself. And this is really important for your emotional well-being. This means that you stand firmly. Literally, you can stand firmly on the ground and declare, I know what happened. I know what was done. I know what was said. And don't allow your version of reality to be questioned or changed by the narcissist. Now, even if you don't bother arguing the point, just know in your heart and soul that what you know and saw and heard is the truth. Now, if you regularly or you start regularly doing the tips that I've just mentioned, the previous 4 tips, you'll have the proof that you need to validate to yourself, I'm not going crazy. I'm not losing my mind. I am perfectly rational and I know what happened, because you have proof. You see the difference that will make to your state of mind, okay? This kind of information is literally to prove to you without a doubt that you're not crazy, you're not losing your mind, and you know what was said and done, and you're not going to doubt it. Now, one thing you should not do is use that evidence to prove to the narcissist that you're right and they're wrong. And as I've just, hinted at, if you can guess why, put it in the comments. But the answer is, even in the face of the smoking gun still in their hand, they will still deny, twist, and word weave or word salad their way out of it. And they have an uncanny knack of being able to manipulate you into thinking, well, it's your fault anyway. Even if you can prove something, it'll be your fault. So the evidence that I'm talking about that you take is for you to keep yourself sane while you hopefully navigate your way out of the relationship, okay? So in the next vid, I'm going to go into some gaslighting phrases so that you can kind of see, are any of those happening for you? Are you hearing those? And if you are, what can you do about them, okay? So thank you for joining me. Please like this video. Please do comment on any comments that you want to add, or please follow. Yeah, that would be good. And share with anyone you think that will find my videos helpful. Thank you so much. I will see you again soon. Bye for now.